Did these fascinate you as a kid?
Well, I heard it again today that pilots just don't make good students for PPG.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. So how much is it?
It's $50 a person for 300 foot, 6 to 8 minutes in the air. Air for 15 minutes.
How safe is it?
Oh, it's safe. My grandkids are out there right now.
Do you need some super training to do it?
Nothing. Just to walk out to the sandbar and the boat picks you up. Everything is done from the boat from there. You take off from the boat and you land on the boat.
But this is really a story about a trip to Florida to escape cold weather and the desire to try a couple different wings on either side of my current Mac Paracharger. Slower and faster, more maneuverable. Here's a trims out takeoff because I didn't fully understand how the looped trimmers worked because they're hidden underneath sheaths. They were both set the same, but the wing really pulled significantly every time I added power, and I couldn't figure out why. Foot dragging the wet grass was fun. At least 60% of the people that I've flown with are still flying their A school wings, and they don't ever intend to change from that. And I really enjoy this close proximity, slow formation flying, where the wings are reasonably matched without a whole lot of slow flight antics and carrying brakes and modulating power to be able to stay right next to a guy. One of the new friends that I made at Wings Over Winter this year suggested that I try his Muse 3 wing. It's 31 meters, so it's significantly larger than the Charger, and it flies so much slower. It's just a lot of fun for takeoffs and landings. Weather changes had us running all over the state. We ended up as far south as Everglades City, and we were told by the airport administrator that we couldn't fly there. So we tried a couple other places, and on my second attempt to fly the Muse, I got the trimmers hauled all the way in, and I eliminated, or so I thought, that pulling tendency. By the next time I had a chance to fly it, it was so wet in the morning that we had to set up a tarp on the ground. My buddy got launched, and I set up my wing and decided I'd give it a shot as well, and magically all of that turning sensation went away. Of course, like everybody else, I suspected I must have flown it with asymmetric trims the first time and just didn't realize it. But that wasn't to be the case when I got home about 10 days later. I took the wing out, planning to fly it locally one night, and I found that one of the sheaths on one of the riser lines had been severed. About the only thing I can suspect is that it was broken right at takeoff here. So after some research and the help of some buddies on social media, I have a new line in the mail on the way. In fact, it should be here sometime this afternoon, Saturday. I'll put it back together after I determine that it's exactly the same length under load as the opposite line on the other side of the wing, and I'll get out and test fly it. If it still flies crooked, I'll send it off to have the glider inspected. This trip was quite a test of endurance. We did a significant amount of driving to get to the various locations that we flew at. The pressure to fly when the weather was good was quite high because of the cost of traveling around the state and the expense of the gasoline and the traffic and the time are pretty significant if you're going to get to somewhere and maybe not be able to fly because the weather's a little bit iffy. I also am still trying to come to terms with something. Very early on, I met some PPG guys and gals that were very comfortable with the fact that they've destroyed a lot of equipment in the process of flying PPG and learning PPG. That's just a totally foreign concept if you've been involved with professional aviation. accidents and equipment damage can often be career-ending items. But I'm finding that you just can't PPG for long without breaking stuff. It's gonna happen. Get over it. On run-up one morning at Palm Bay, I caught my net in my propeller. Don't ask me how it happened. Maybe it's possible that I didn't have enough tension on the inner line that pulls the net in tight around the engine. I'm not really sure what happened. I was leaning forward, revving up the engine, and bang, I heard it snap. Damaged both of the tips of my prop. So I ended up at one of the local guys' house down there that afternoon, a guy named Don Jordan. What a super nice gentleman he is. And sure enough, Don helped me patch up the tips of the prop and dress it, and get it painted again. Saved a lot of hassle for the rest of the trip. What a great community the PPG group is. In spite of some of our quirkiness, if you haven't done this and you're planning to, you need to get out here with us.
Look at that, a little bit of wind. Clear this fog off here pretty quick that way. Whew, the grass is wet. Wow.
By the way, I'm not planning on doing a whole lot more tent camping if I continue to PPG. Something's going to have to change.